Hello guys and welcome back for the second half of the UEFA Super Cup. Chelsea 1-0 up versus Villarreal, and at half time, as I was saying in the first half, the commentators and pundits were saying they're pretty much in agreement with me that I thought the challenge from Antonio Rudiger probably could have been a red card. Possibly should have been a red card as well. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think when you do something like that with the follow through, it is going to endanger an opponent. He's gone right through his leg, basically. I think 20 years ago, fine. But now, in the modern era, that for me, that's bad. That's a bad tackle. Personally, not happy at all with that from a Villarreal perspective. But the guy on the receiving end seems to be all right, so it's okay. Pino or something is his name. But yeah, Unai Emery and Thomas Tuchel were chatting about that half time, and Emery managed to get himself, Tuchel managed to get himself a booking in the first half for it, and yeah, for protesting to the referee. So we've seen what's happened there, and hopefully now we can have an exciting second half to build on what we've had so far in this game, in the opening 45 minutes. That is the aim, that is the idea. N'Golo Kante on the ball for Chelsea. So yeah, it was Pino Santos on that right wing for Villarreal that was the one. Well, he is the one who was injured, or well, not injured in the end. He's okay to carry on, but he was the one that was snapped on the receiving end of that tackle from Antonio Rudiger. Right, Chelsea back three there, sitting with the ball in possession fairly easily. Villarreal are, as I don't think I mentioned it during the first half, but Villarreal have matched up Chelsea. They do seem to be playing with wing backs, Moreno on one side and Juan Foyth on the other. Sorry, not one. No, it does seem to be Juan Foyth. Ooh, ruffles the side netting there. I'm confused about what's going on with this Villarreal shape, to be honest. It looks like at the moment the back three of Pau Torres, Raul Albiol, and Foyth, with Pino as the right wing back, Pedraza as the left wing back, Trigueros Capu in the middle, with Moreno, Dyer, and other Moreno up front. Although it seems to be fairly fluid in terms of which, whether it's Pedraza or Pino that drops into the five. Sometimes Moreno comes short, Pedraza goes in beyond. Sometimes Pedraza comes short and Moreno goes on beyond. So there's a lot of rotation down that left side for Villarreal at the moment, is what we're seeing. Still 1-0 to Chelsea, and Antonio Rudiger on the ball for Chelsea. Should have been sent off potentially in that first half, but here he's feeding N'Golo Kante out wide to Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right. Rudiger striding forward. He's beaten one player, beaten two. Just managed to get that through to Havertz, who's so quick off the mark, which you probably wouldn't expect for a guy of his size. He's a big lad, this Kai Havertz. Incredible athleticism from him. Capu's been a decent player for Villarreal actually since he's joined, but I never saw that at Watford. I never thought it was that special. I mean, obviously Villarreal is not exactly the pinnacle of Spanish football, but it is. They're not a bad team, certainly. Right out wide to Hudson-Odoi on the right for Chelsea, stretching the width for them. And Trevor Chalobah, who's also been pretty decent so far on the right of the back three for Chelsea. Chelsea content now to drop into their shape really, with that front three of it now seems to be Werner through the middle, as it was before. Havertz wide left and Mason Mount wide. Is that Mount or is that Pulisic number 10? I assume it's Pulisic. Yeah, Pulisic number 10 on the right for Chelsea. Yeah, Mount's number 19, isn't he, for Chelsea? That is Christian Pulisic. Chalabar's got something on it, but Moreno's here in behind. Chalabar's done well. Just about well enough to bundle him off the ball, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Chelsea. But that's good defending from Chalabar, just about on the right side of what's legal and what's not legal. Which is good, otherwise he'd be conceding a penalty. Mendy slipped from the goal kick, and Villarreal in here, one-on-one. Jared Moreno, oh, he's hit the post. He's hit the post, lads. He's hit the far post. He's cutting on his left. He's tried to bend it around Edward Mendy into the far corner, but he's just hit the post, and it's bounced off the post and not gone into the back of the net. That's frustrating. That was a great chance for Villarreal. A one-on-one, fantastic goal-scoring chance, and Jared Moreno's messed it up, not been able to score. Here's Pau Torres on the ball, moving it quickly, as you'd expect from a player of his quality on the ball. Albiol finding that ball through the midfield. Pino seems pretty agile. Or was that Moreno? That's Moreno. I think Villarreal have actually defended pretty well so far, you've got to say. I think compared to, I suppose, to be fair, they defended well in the Europa League final as well, but today I think they've tracked runs fairly well, but they've pushed higher up the pitch at times and they haven't been cut open when they've done so. So maybe in the Europa League final they could have been a little bit more adventurous. Obviously, Unai Emery didn't want to be, but maybe that's how he thought. I guess that's how he thought was what he thought was their best chance of winning the thing. So fair enough to him. Right, here's Pau Torres on the ball. Is he going to do something useful? He may well do, because this is his favourite situation. On his left foot, looking to find passes through the lines. Chelsea have pressed well. Trevor Chalabar's there. That's a key thing to do in a back three. He's come out and confronted the striker that's dropped off to try and receive the ball a bit deeper and stopped him from doing so. Great defending from Trevor Chalabar. And again, good cutting out of a pass there. Chelsea have lost it in midfield, but of course N'Golo Kante has won it back. Pulisic here can use his pace, surely. Hudson-Odoi's holding the width. Pulisic done well. Out to Werner on the right. Back into Hudson-Odoi. He's found N'Golo Kante, the captain for Chelsea this evening. Chalabar plays a 1-2 with Kante. Kovacic, really nice pass. Played into the perfect space right in front of Rudiger, who shoots immediately into row Z. Not quite sure how Moreno's missed. Oh, does Mendy get a touch? Mendy does get a slight touch. What a brilliant save that is from Edward Mendy. He gets slight fingertips on it, I think, and that is a fantastic save. Tipping that onto the post and stopping Villarreal scoring. But Villarreal on the attack here in the Chelsea penalty area, and the cross straight into the gloves of Edward Mendy once again, unfortunately for Villarreal. He's well offside. He is well offside there, the Villarreal man. Running in behind Pedraza, I believe. Down that left-hand side, wins it back off Trevor Chalabar, who is probably quite grateful that didn't end up in the back of the net. He's got away with one there. Pulisic out to Hudson-Odoi on the right, who's been very good in the first half, not quite so in the second so far. Not really. Villarreal are really coming to life here in the second half, but Kante is doing his thing, covering every blade of grass out there and winning the ball back constantly. So many times, Chelsea from those inside midfield positions, they've looked for Werner in that wide left position. They've looked to slip that ball through. One of those balls that goes through between the centre-back and full-back just curves out wide. And normally, on most occasions, Juan Foyth has been positioned well, so that ball has not got through. Oh, brilliant, brilliant bit of defending there from Trevor Chalobah. He's cut that ball out fantastically. Great cross from the right for Villarreal, and very close to going into the back of the net, or being a fantastic chance if he had not cut that out. That was a really, really good bit of defending from the youngster there, from the Chelsea youngster. Not sure on his trim. That's, in fact, one of the worst trims I've seen in professional football. He looks like he's got an octopus on his head, but good bit of defending there from the lad. Villarreal corner played short, whipped into the box, and cleared very easily by Chelsea. I never understand that. What's the point of playing it short? I know, like, if you're going to whip it in immediately, what is the point of playing the ball short? All you're doing is just giving that. Well, I think part of the reason they do it is to sort of change the angle. But if the player's standing 2 yards away, you're not changing the angle. You may as well just let them play the cross from the corner. It gives them the extra second to lose their marker, I suppose, but that's about it. It's not worth it for an extra second to lose your marker. Just play it from the corner. Obviously, Villarreal, as with most Spanish teams, are generally not the biggest in the air, especially compared to a Premier League team, but I think they'd have a reasonable chance against Chelsea. I mean, Torres is okay in the air. However you say it, Raul Albiol's not bad. Capoue is all right, as we saw for Watford. That season when he had a ridiculous purple patch at the start of the year, he was, I think, what was it, like 3-4 seasons ago? He was scoring, I think, in fantasy. Everyone had him by 4 or 5 games in because he scored in every game for the first 5-6 games of Watford season. They had a brilliant start to the season, and Capoue was largely responsible for that. Chalobah again well positioned to cut out the ball. Timo Werner wins the foul. That's good striker play from Werner there. Getting Chelsea a little bit further up the pitch. That's good from him. Sub for Villarreal. I have no idea who that is, I can't lie. Pedraza off for Pervis Estupiñán. I thought it might have been Estupiñán, but you can't really guess on those things these days. I have no idea who it is. But now we know from the helpful graphic provided by UEFA, or BT Sport, whatever it is. Etienne Capoue passing forward for a change. Back to Pau Torres in that left half space from centre-back position, looking for a good ball forward. He's found one. Straight to Estupiñán, has just come on. And Trevor Chalobah has made another brilliant tackle. He's been incredible today. What a player. I've got to be honest, Chelsea, whether they signed Jules Koundé or not, on the basis of tonight's performance, Trevor Chalobah is, I think he's ready to make some starts for Chelsea. He looks very, very accomplished. He's composed on the ball. He's composed when he's defending. He's positioning himself right all the time. He's made some really important blocks, really important interventions. Very impressive tonight. And he's playing. It's not like he's playing against playing with an experienced player on his side. He's playing with Hudson-Odoi at right back, not the best right wing back. He's not the best defensive player about. So it's been interesting. That it's full credit to Trevor Chalobah, and I suppose as well to Callum Hudson-Odoi. They've both been very good. A Villarreal player is currently down, unfortunately. It seems to be Etienne Capoue with his strange haircut as well, with a weird sort of white hair dye across the top. Not sure what he's going for. I'm liking the jumper Thomas Tuchel's rocking this evening. Stylish. Hudson-Odoi down the line with the throw-in. One back by Villarreal. This is definitely Villarreal's moment. They need a goal here, I feel. I think they're putting some pressure on. Some nice flicks and tricks from Alberto Moreno. Didn't think I'd say that for quite some time, but he's been playing all right, Alberto Moreno. And I think Villarreal here, they do need to make their pressure count and actually put something in the back of the net to have any chance of coming away with a win from this game, I feel. Moreno out to Pino down the right. Clipped in by Moreno, and great defending again by Trevor Chalobah. He stood firm. The striker was backing into him, trying to sort of weaken him down so that ball he could he could get his head on the ball, but Chalobah stood firm. Didn't let it happen. Did not let it happen. Great defending. I mean, obviously, playing in a back three, you've got a lot less space to cover than playing in a back two, but or back four more accurately. But Chalobah's still been fantastic. So impressed. Jeremy Pino is about to get himself booked for screaming in the face of the assistant referee, I think. Indeed. No surprises there. I think that's one of the things that frustrated me about the Villarreal in the Europa League final. The amount of times they're constantly screaming at the ref, at the assistant ref. I mean, it's not like Premier League teams don't do it, but in Spain it's a whole new ball game. Italy, you get a lot of this at the referee. Spain, you're screaming at the ref constantly. And obviously, when you're watching Barca, you get the Jordi Albas of this world, the PKs, get touched and they're rolling around holding their face. Embarrassing. In Spanish football, now that Lionel Messi's gone, what's left? What is left? Hudson-Odoi galloping down that right. Decent ball in. Sadly, no Chelsea player in the area. That's the difference between Ziyech or Mount and Pulisic. Pulisic isn't quite as confident getting into those attacking positions. Not quite as confident getting into the goal-scoring positions as some of the others. Good break forward from Foyth there. Jared Moreno found wide right, and Rudiger has... I think he's won the goal kick. He's gone sliding in. I think he's won the goal kick. H says, "Hey, how's the game been? I've missed it. It's been all right. It's come to life a little bit. The second half, I'd say Villarreal have been so much better. It's been a lot more exciting now that Villarreal are sort of coming into it a bit, and they're not sitting deep as much as they were in the first half. They're pressing a lot higher. I've been enjoying watching Villarreal in the second half. To be honest, I think they're a credit to their manager. They're a credit to they're about all that's left of Spanish football. But yeah, I've been impressed with them." N'Golo Kante, just didn't come for Werner. 1/4 again. He's positionally been perfect today. Almost every time when he's had to cut one of those balls out, looking for Werner or looking for Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz. He's almost always been in the right position. So good performance from him. Obviously, in a three, it's much easier. You've got less space to cover to get in the right position, but he's still done a good job. Hudson-Odoi here, 1v1. Give and go with Pulisic, but he dragged the defender away. Pulisic doesn't give it to him, but he's dragged the defender away. That's impressive. It's I say it's impressive. It's not exactly like unbelievable stuff, but it's what you want to see from your wingers, isn't it? Taking defenders away, actually helping you to create chances. It's good. Pleased with that. I think Thomas Tuchel will be happy with that. Hudson-Odoi over the free kick, as is Marcos Alonso. This is Marcos Alonso range. Maybe a little bit too far out, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him score from this sort of range before. I think it was against Bournemouth. A lot of Chelsea players going forward, including the my man of the match so far, Trevor Chalobah. Marcos Alonso over the top, floats it in, and a good header again from this time Kurt Zouma, who missed... Actually, it was Zouma in the first half, who missed a chance from about 3 yards out. Really, he should have buried it. It was a volley from about genuinely 3 or 4 yards out. Here is Mason Mount and Andreas Christensen, as is Jorginho, coming on for Chelsea. This is interesting for me. I want to see where Mason Mount plays. Is he coming on for Havertz, or is he coming on in that midfield area? I think that's going to be key this season with the arrival of Lukaku. Is Mason Mount going to play on those wings? Because if he is, then he's may well be rotating with Kai Havertz. I can't see Chelsea leaving Werner out of the team too often. But if they opt to play, maybe they could opt to play Mason Mount in the midfield area, which could happen. It looks like it's Werner coming off here, so probably Mason Mount into that front three on this occasion. So Mount into the front three, and the midfield now of Jorginho and Christensen. I don't think Christensen's come on yet. I'm not sure. Unsure on that. Yeah, Christensen's just come on for Kurt Zouma. So 3 changes for Chelsea just there. So Villarreal now, with all the work to do, hopefully for them, Chelsea changes will upset their rhythm a little bit and Villarreal can break through. The Chelsea press looks good here. They're pressing with 4 players, the front 3 and Jorginho being the insurance player there. Obviously just off the bench, full of energy, so he can afford to sort of make a sprint to support the press. For all the hype about Pau Torres and how good he is technically, I've seen very little from him in this game to suggest that he's anything special. Obviously he's not going to be churning out world-class performances every game. No one's doing that. Here's Mason Mount. Trevor Chalobah. Jorginho to Mount. Jorginho's looking sharp early on. Really, really sharp. Nice quick give and goes. He's turning quickly, agile on the ball, moving it so fast. Pivoting really quickly as well. With a haircut like that, you've got to as well. He's bleached it very, very light. After winning the Euros with Italy. See, Pau Torres, you need to... I want to see Pau Torres bringing the ball out of defence, not just sitting there and passing it sideways or backwards. He's supposed to be one of the best centre-backs in the world, technically. But I've not seen anything like that today. Maybe lacking sharpness, but every time he's just tried to sort of find a route to pass forwards and just... when one looks to appear, passes backwards instead. Jorginho's so composed on both feet. He's a bit like Pirlo in a sense. Just such a good playmaker. He makes it look like the game's just been played at a different pace. Everyone else is playing a different game to him. Oh, here we go. Great chance for Villarreal now. Estupiñán took a touch which narrowed his angle and stopped him scoring, really. Easy save for Mendy after Estupiñán took that touch. If he shot first time there, he has every time to bend and get into the far corner, but unfortunately for him, he's not managed to do so. Corner from Villarreal. Played it short again to Moreno to try and get a cross in. And again, well, this time the cross doesn't even come in. Now it finally does. And once again, headed away very easily by Chelsea. The short corners of Villarreal are not working. They may as well just try play it long because the short ones haven't worked all game. Trigueros played that in and it was a really poor ball. Very, very easily headed away by the Chelsea defence. See, that there was a good chance for Villarreal. They got Moreno in a good space for a cutback. He cut it back. Trigueros just couldn't quite find the space or find an unblocked shot. Alonso here recovering the ball in the middle of the pitch for Chelsea. Havertz turning sharply. Now Villarreal, good chance here again. A really good chance. In the right area of the pitch. Estupiñán on the ball. Pau Torres again passing sideways. I'm glad United haven't signed him. I'm really glad United have not signed him. There was a lot of talk about whether it's Pau Torres, whether it's Jules Koundé, whoever that United go for. I'm glad it's not Pau Torres. I'm glad it's Rafael Varane. He's the best of the lot, easily. But I'm glad it was not Pau. Here we have 2 substitutions, or substitutes about to be made by Villarreal. Moi Gomez on and Mario Gaspar on. Capu is off for Moi Gomez. And Mario Gaspar is on for Manu Trigueros. Is that more attacking that Villarreal are going, or must be? Midfielders on for defenders. Villarreal really pushing for it now, hopefully. And it should liven it up a little bit. They've been playing well. They've had some nice combination play. Just not quite managed to have the finish yet. The closest they've come was Moreno's brilliant volley in that first half. Estupiñán with a poor ball in. Very easy to defend for Edward Mendy in the Chelsea goal. Jorginho again, so composed on the ball, plays it brilliantly out to Chalobah, takes a good touch into his path, plays it off to Christian Pulisic, who's dropped deep. But this time, when the Chelsea forwards drop deep, the Villarreal centre-backs are not following him like the Chelsea ones were for the Villarreal forwards. Really good ball over the top, looking for Marcos Alonso, who seems to be getting there, got the legs to get there, pokes it into the penalty area, but easy enough for Geronimo really to catch. Villarreal playing it around the back. They seem to have gone to a back four now of Mario Gaspar, Raul Albiol, Pau Torres and Alberto Moreno at left back. Here's Moreno in the what in. Moreno's tucked in whilst Estupiñán's gone wide. Nice use of these spaces there. Good from Villarreal. Obviously Emery's been coaching that, working on that in pre-season. Every time Chelsea have had to defend the ball over the top, they've defended it brilliantly. Villarreal's delivery's been poor. Disappointingly poor. Here's Moreno in the centre of the pitch. He's popped up a lot in central areas, Alberto Moreno. I did not think he's got that sort of technical ability, but he's come into those areas a lot and done a decent job as well. Great ball through from, brilliant goal from Villarreal. Fantastic goal. That is class. Jared Moreno did a fantastic job holding the ball up, played a great ball into the path of the striker, and he's played it back into the 1-2 back into the path of Moreno, who's finished it perfectly. Brilliant goal from Villarreal, 1-1. That was fantastic. The combination play is finally working for them, and fair play to them. It's brilliant. It is brilliant. Great little flick from Gaspar into Moreno. And yeah, great finish as well when it comes back to Moreno after the 1-2. Gaspar flicked it to play the clearance back into the path of Moreno. He got a little bit of luck with the deflection. And then the finish, there's no doubt about that. That was brilliant. No chance for Edward Mendy on that one. He's been good tonight, Edward Mendy, but he's not saving that. Right into the inside netting on the opposite side of the goal. Across the goal, fantastic finish. I just saw someone in the crowd that looks like a really fat version of someone I know. I don't know who it was. No idea who it was, but I can't remember who the person is I know. But I know that the guy in the crowd looks like a fat version of him. Quite fat and very obviously Spanish, but yeah, I can't remember who it was. I don't know who it is. Weird feeling to have. When you know who it is, well, you know it looks like someone you know, but you can't remember who. Chelsea's trying to turn it on now as well. Since Kante's gone, they've lost a little bit defensively because he was just going around sweeping up everything for them. But second half, I've got to say, Villarreal have been by far the better team. I think they've been a level above Chelsea second half. Chelsea were much better in the first, but Villarreal have turned that round, really turned that round in the second. Chalobah out wide to Hudson-Odoi, who's been okay. Shown nothing whatsoever in the second half. He's not been able to get forward much. This is the first real spell of possession that Chelsea have had for quite a while now. Christensen's playing in the centre of that back three now, rather than on the right. Obviously, Chalobah's still out on the right. Villarreal are doing a really, really good job of forcing Chelsea down one side, keeping the middle of the pitch tight and squeezing to whatever side they're on. Just stopping them moving that ball forward, keeping them playing it around the back. Now, Chelsea have got down the side here for the first time in a while with Mason Mount here. Ball blocked by Mario Gaspar, ball into the area. I think now Villarreal are doing what they did against United. They've dropped into a block, protecting the centre of the pitch, drifting over side to side when they need to, but they're being a lot more restrictive of that space. Before they were matching Chelsea up with a 3-4-3, now they're being a lot more careful because they're in a 4-4-2, so they've got a man less than they would want defensively. They would want 2 spare men, they've only got 1. So, yeah. They're being a lot more careful, but channeling them into the right areas, which is nice. Pau Torres here on the ball. Can he step out and produce something? A really poor ball into midfield is what he's produced, and now Chelsea have got a good chance. Mount's picked up in a dangerous area. Here's Pulisic on the edge of the D. Wide to Havertz. Hudson-Odoi keeps it in. Play. Oh, Pulisic should have headed that away. Jared Moreno comes back for the acrobatic bicycle kick clearance from his own box. That was much needed, otherwise Chelsea could well have been in front once again. Mason Mount. See, Mason Mount now is getting a little bit more influence. A few nice passes, finding some good pockets. And the width from Trevor Chalobah on this side actually has been quite useful as an outlet for Chelsea. If they want to just come back out of the area, switch the ball either to Chalobah or to Rudiger, they're providing useful outlets for them in that sense. And Villarreal striker's doing a good job to fight there. He's doing a really good job fighting for that ball, but it's coming straight back at them because he's not been able to retain it. Chelsea have done well, sustaining their attacks here, which is good. Mason Mount into Kai Havertz. And Villarreal win the free kick. That's good for them. That's better pressure. Besides the one sort of cross, which was they just about got away with. I think there's not been too many clear-cut chances in that spell from Chelsea, which is good for Villarreal. Their defensive shape is doing its job. With 13 minutes to go here, we may well end up going to penalties, which could be a good spectacle for all the fans and the neutrals like myself. The United fans who want both teams to lose. Took a while for Villarreal to restart the play there from that free kick, but it is now back in play. Thomas Tuchel, what a guy. Jorginho back to Kovacic, who's been really good. He's been sort of, I wouldn't say he's the engine of the team, that would be N'Golo Conte. Rudiger sprinted past 2 players. He's really making himself the extra man and sort of getting up there, which is a good thing for Chelsea when they've only got 2 men in midfield. But the outside centre-backs have not been afraid to get forward and be that extra man in that middle area. And oftentimes as well, because they're obviously being wide centre-backs, they're in the wider areas, they've run sort of outside the Villarreal widest midfielders, which gives Chelsea an extra man in the wide areas as well, which is helpful for them for combination play and stuff. Here's Chalobah on the ball, striding forwards again, finding Hudson-Odoi. Oh, Chalobah's done well. Found Pulisic nicely. Oh. Right, I'm going to have to make a TikTok about Trevor Chalobah tonight. I think he's been so good. Pau Torres did a good job there, blocking the ball ball into the box from Pulisic, trying to dribble past him potentially. Marcus Alonso coming across for the corner, in-swinging corner from the right-hand side for Chelsea here. Height-wise, I'm not seeing too many mismatches. Alonso back in here. Oh, Rulli's just about come and got there. Just about got there with the punch. And he seems to be hurt, as is Pau Torres. A couple of Villarreal players seem to be experiencing some cramp, which is not great. Azpilicueta coming on for Chelsea. I'm assuming that's going to be... Surely not for Chalobah. It's been so good. The ball up there said number 10. It's not going to be Pulisic coming off. It's Hudson-Odoi coming off. So who's going out to right wing back, or are they going to a 4 here? Hudson-Odoi, I mean, he can be proud of his display. Good in that first half and not so good in the second. But not bad in the second, just not as good as he was in the first. Right, Azpilicueta up against Alberto Moreno down this side. So it looks like Azpilicueta's just slotted straight in, like for like swap with Hudson-Odoi. He's gone to right wing back immediately. Jorginho sprayed a ball out wide, but again defended pretty well by Villarreal down that side. Pino has been, I mean, when he's been, I think even as part of that front three when he was or the wide midfielder, he's always covered, always dropped in to help out fourth when he needed to, and he's doing the same now that he's more of a right mid in the 4-4-2. He's almost playing as if he were in that back 5 still, to be honest. When now that Chelsea is seeing some sort of spell of possession, Gaspar has put it just out of play, which is unfortunate. Pino has gone down. Game's starting to break up quite a lot. It's becoming a little bit bitty. To be fair, I can see why Pino's gone down. He's been hit in the face by Havertz accidentally. Trevor Chalobah here on the right, in the right half space again. Azpilicueta. See, Jorginho's got space and time now. A lot of space and time. Again, Chelsea trying really hard to work crossing opportunities, but again, the only players in the 6-yard box are Havertz and Christian Pulisic. Pulisic is not exactly an aerial threat. Havertz is okay in the air, but again, you're not going to back him to score. Need more bodies in the box if they're going to make more of this crossing. Or potentially set pieces of where they're looking. And they've got a corner now with Marcos Alonso's delivery. Came out to Jorginho on the edge of the box. He had a swipe at it, unfortunately for him. And for Chelsea, didn't do too much. Marcos Alonso gets a header away and saved very easily, caught very easily by Geronimo Rulli again. That from Jorginho was straight into the head, or straight into the upper shoulder of Pino. Jorginho's trim. I suppose he's won the Euros. He can do what he wants. Would have laughed if the whole Italy squad have got Gaza trims or whatever. That would have been good. Alberto Moreno is coming off after what I've got to be honest was a pretty good performance from him. Pretty good performance. Manu Morlanes, or whoever that is coming on for Villarreal, for Alberto Moreno. He's number 6. Surely he's not going to be a fullback. Although I suppose they've got Estupinian on already. A little bit of a reshuffle here for the Yellow Submarine. Boulaye Dia has come off for Daniel Raber. Are they trying to get it to penalties? I believe this goes straight to penalties at 90 minutes if it's level. So maybe that's what Villarreal are aiming for here. Maybe that's their best chance of winning. I wonder if we go to 10 penalties again. If Pau Torres sticks one in the top corner once again. Or if lightning can't strike twice on this occasion. Yeah, it does look like now Villarreal have got no desire to push that ball forwards quickly. They're perfectly content to just pass it around the back, circulate it between their back four, which it now is, and just play out time. Foyth seems to be playing defensive mid now. Didn't realise he could play there, but fair play to him. Very versatile player. Pulisic here for Chelsea, playing backwards towards Azpilicueta. Look, either team you've got 4 minutes left, and neither team seems to be going all out to try and win it. I think if one team had to try that, I'd go Chelsea. I think Chelsea may as well take a risk, I feel, because I think they're the better team. They're the team that would least want to go to penalties. I think they're the team, they probably feel they could have won it in 90 minutes. I don't know why they're not trying. They're just moving the ball far too slowly, not really breaking down Villarreal. Jorginho's he's looked sharp at times on the ball, but now he's just playing a little bit more slowly. There's less, I mean, he's got plenty of time and space to pick out a pass, but just seems to be happy to try and keep it moving at a slow pace, which is not going to break Villarreal down. We saw that for 120 minutes with United. Unless they make a big mistake. Trevor Chalobah here with the throw-in, giving it to Azpilicueta. Mason Mount is now on for Chelsea, obviously. Christensen out to Rudiger. Again, I'd say Chelsea have looked, in this game, I think, compared to last season, again, they've looked fairly strong defensively in terms of when their balls had it, like, played into their box, chip balls, chip crosses, all that sort of stuff, they had it away fairly easily. But when they're faced with quick combination play, they do seem to struggle. I think the spacings aren't great. As soon as you get them as soon as you start forcing them to have to track runners or make decisions about whether to track runners, they seem to struggle a little bit. Pulisic has a shot on goal, but is well offside. I've been saying it's John Romeo Rulli in the Villarreal net all game. It is in fact Sergio Asenjo, not John Romeo Rulli, but either way. That's my bad. Right, the clock winding down now. It does look like we are going to go to penalties. Unai Emery will be delighted. He's always seemed to be wanting penalties in these sorts of big games because he knows his team are not as strong on paper as the opposition. He's defending, and he looks like he's going to get his wish. In a Belfast stadium that is by no means full. Obviously more Chelsea fans as you'd expect than there are Villarreal. No surprises there. But I suppose for Chelsea it's a nice opportunity to get some minutes and some rhythm and have a trophy to fight for just 3 days before the Premier League. Actually, not even 3 days. 2 days before the Premier League season gets underway with Arsenal versus Brentford on Friday night. Both Morenos have played quite well, Gerrard and Alberto. Estupiñán with a wild swipe at the ball there. A little bit of confusion between Mario Gaspar and Sergio Asenjo in the goal for Villarreal. Villarreal on the break here. This could be their last chance to get something in normal time. It's been snuffed out by Chelsea, but Villarreal won it back, and if that's a free kick, that could be their last chance. Hopefully this time they pump it into the box rather than whatever they were doing. From corners, just taking them short. Last chance here. The clock is ticking over to 90 minutes. The last chance for Villarreal. No sign of any injury time yet. Although there have been some injuries. So yeah, 4 minutes. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time for either team here to produce some magic, hopefully. Villarreal have got the ball, got the possession here. They've got. I think they've got to make something count soon. I think they've got 2 strikers now, so they'll be looking to get that ball into the box as they have done just there. Azpilicueta's headed it clear very well, knew exactly what was around him and did a good job there. But going back to this 4-4-2 for Villarreal, their big problem is that Chelsea have got so many players in the middle of the pitch. They've got the 3 centre halves, they've got the opposite wing back tucking in as well, and they've also got the midfielders. And versus the 2 Villarreal strikers, when everyone else is pushed so wide, you've got to say it's going to be really tough for Villarreal to score, especially when the strikers aren't the biggest in stature. From crosses, they're going to have a tough time. Again, Villarreal still looking to float that ball into the penalty area. Good ball in, but easy pickings for Edward Mendy again. I think they're having to just cross from wide positions. What they've got at the moment is Villarreal. They've got the 2 strikers and the 2 centre mids, sort of obviously occupying central areas of the pitch. But their other players, the 2 fullbacks and the 2 wide midfielders, are so wide. They're not offering any support. The opposite wide midfielder, opposite wide winger is not getting anywhere near the penalty area. So it's going to be really tough for them to get the ball into the box that they can actually score from. They've not got the bodies in there to make anything count, really, I don't think. Chelsea here with Marcos Alonso there. I mean, Chelsea have looked, in the last maybe 10 minutes, they've looked a little bit better tactically than Villarreal have. Maybe Villarreal tired a little bit as well. Pulisic driving at the defence here. Gets a shot away. Rebounds off Marcos Alonso, who himself was offside. That was a FIFA moment, that, if ever I've seen one. Villarreal do seem to be flagging though. Tiredness, they do seem to be exhausted. Very fatigued. A minute and a half left of injury time, and then we should, I think, go straight to penalties. I believe that's how the Super Cup works. If anyone knows differently in the chat, please do tell me, but I'm pretty sure it'll go straight to penalties after this next minute and a half. Long ball from the free kick from the offside, and Rudiger's been taken out unceremoniously there. Villarreal looking to build something. They've got a few more bodies in the middle of the pitch here, actually looking to link play, which could be useful and may help them press when they've lost it. Now they have. The press has not really been seen there at all. Rudiger's driving forward again. Finds Jorginho. This again has looked like a Chelsea display that we've seen quite a lot towards the end of last season. They've not actually been that inspiring at all, really. They've looked okay, but nothing special. Jorginho's split Kovacic and Rudiger with that pass. Bit of a communication breakdown, but that's what pre-season's for, I suppose. Rudiger over the top to Marcos Alonso. This is a good chance for Chelsea. Alonso's blasted it into the side netting. And that should be that with just 10 seconds to go. Alonso had to catch that perfectly to beat Asenjo from there, but he didn't. And so now it looks like we are ticking away 2 penalties. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to have to be some strike to beat Sergio Asenjo that's near post from that angle. The referee has blown the full-time whistle, and I believe we are now going to go to penalties. The manager's delivering their instructions here as we go towards penalties. As we go to some sort of ad break on BT. Great. I'm not sure what Villarreal are playing at. Obviously, as with most Spanish teams, they're not the tallest in the air. So from a lot of set pieces, they have decided to play it short. But it's just not worked for them at all. Not at all. I mean, what I reckon from corners, rather than setting up and getting their centre backs forward and stuff, if you're not going to put the ball in the box straight away, why not just get one player, just set up as if you're doing a normal attack and just in that corner, and get that player to play it back and just keep the ball. Keep the ball, try and break through. I don't know why there is this rule and this perception that you have to sort of try and look for a cross from the corner. Obviously, because you're in the wide areas, it's the natural thing to do, but you don't have to. I feel like maybe teams should start trying that, just from the corner. Just get it back, keep it playing, get the ball in circulation. Maybe have one or two players in the box as sort of targets for the defence, but you could spring that once a game, and teams wouldn't know, the defensive team wouldn't know what they're facing. They'd have no idea. We have a new follow. Cheers for the new follow. The alert up on screen as we love to see. Aerophibian with the Tukul Balonu Patladi. I don't know what that means, but fair enough to you. Cheers for the comment, I suppose. Okay, the fact we're seeing long ads, not just like 10 seconds, tells me this might actually be extra time. Great. So we're not going to penalties. We're going to sit through another half hour of this. Right. The ads on BT are not the most captivating I've ever watched. A little bit of We Buy Any Car at the moment. Right, chat, do you want to see extra time or do you want to see something else? Do you want me to go do some FM or something else instead? Because I'm not that concerned about extra time. I feel like, it's good, probably good for Chelsea to get some extra rhythm, extra minutes in the legs. Maybe they'll be tired for the weekend now, which is good for us because they might drop some points. But to be honest, I think it's not going to be the most thrilling spectacle we've ever seen, is it? They've already made 5 subs each, probably. We might get. I think we'll get a 6th sub in extra time, but right, let's have a look at the lineup. How many subs have we made? We've made 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Chelsea made 5 subs, and Villarreal have also made 5 subs. So we'll get a 6th sub in extra time. Is there anyone on that Villarreal bench I want to see play? Honestly, no. On that Chelsea bench that hasn't come on yet, also not really. Reece James at right wing back could add something. If he comes on for Trevor Chalobah, Azpilicueta drops into that back 3, Reece James could give them a new dimension going forward and defensively. I think he's a pretty strong player in that sense. Obviously, probably a back Reece James to score a penalty as well, to be fair, if it comes to that. Other than that, on the Chelsea bench, you've got Christensen, who's already on, Jorginho's already on, Thiago Silva, not going to bring anything they don't already have. They're not struggling defensively. Tammy Abraham, who's off to Roma or Arsenal very soon. We've got Loftus-Cheek, who by this point is basically irrelevant. Mason Mount's already on. Chilwell, they don't really need anything else down that left side. Marcus Alonso's doing a good enough job. And Emerson, again, they don't need anything down that side. Marcus Alonso's doing a good enough job. So I feel like substitutions-wise, there's no one really coming on that's going to break open this game and sort of make this extra time particularly entertaining. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'd be surprised. Hopefully Villarreal can get a little bit more possession, get us a little bit of go forward and actually start playing in the opposition half a little bit more. Because the last 10-15 minutes of that were just all Chelsea. All Chelsea possession. The odd little bit of spell for Villarreal, but mostly Chelsea. Edward Mendy is probably the best Mendy in the Premier League at the moment. Benjamin is reportedly trying to be offloaded by City, but no one wants him because he's a clown and spends all his time on random holidays in strange countries rather than playing any actual football, and is also constantly injured. But when he does play, he's got a decent cross in him from his left. Gets an awful lot of power on his crosses, does Benjamin Mendy. Here is Andreas Christensen stepping forward. That ball's come off. What? I don't know what he's seen there. Whether Mendy was off his line or what, I don't know. But the Villarreal player has just attempted from well inside his own half to have a go at goal, and it's gone so far wide. I assume it's a go at goal. I don't know what else it could be. He's not going to be just clearing it there. Surely. Right, chat, not lots happening in this extra time. I'm going to end the stream here and I will be back again either later or probably at some point this weekend for a Premier League watch along. Until then, cheers for joining tonight and see you guys very soon.